Check, check, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2, check. Check, check, check. Alright. Alright, I got it working now. How's everybody doing? Alright. This is going to be an exciting podcast. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, but now some real crazy stuff has dropped on the Diddy case. So we'll get right to it. So much to do with the Diddy case. I've got... I said the next one was going to be with guests, but that's not the case. We've got another podcast solo. I'm trying to knock these out as quickly as possible so I can move on to music live streams, which is the next phase of creativity in the studio. Build the bike shop, do some solo podcasts. Tomorrow, shout out Genie, the music Genie, is going to be on as a guest tomorrow. So we'll have him on. Finally, we'll have a guest. But today, there's just so much interesting stuff happening around p-diddy, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Sean Combs, that is just, we just have to do this. I've got a bunch of links set up here. It's actually not too many. It won't be a super long podcast like the last crazy Trump ones have been. But there's enough info here that it'd make an interesting podcast. So we'll get right into it. In case you guys didn't know, p-diddy was recently arrested. Some charges were brought against him recently as well, for several things he did. Allegedly, there was a few cases. The real big thing that happened that really kind of blew this whole thing out the water was the fact that there was this girl, Cassie, who he beat up in an elevator. And so we'll watch that clip. That's kind of like the snowball effect of like this whole situation kind of started around there. So we'll take a look at that first. And then there was always a lot of rumors, you know. So actually, that wasn't even it. That wasn't what started it. What really started it was Cat Williams on Breakfast Club. That's what started it. He came out and he was like, everyone catching hell in 2020, 2024. And he came out and said that whole deal. So it was Cat Williams who did the prediction, said everyone was going to get caught up. Everyone's getting caught up. This is a year of revelations. So, you know, and if you believe that kind of stuff, tell me, was he wrong? No, he was not wrong. This entire thing is a Epstein analog, kind of like a branch of the same type of honeycomb operation. So we'll get right into it right at the beginning. Let me find that. We don't need to play the Cat Williams clip because that's old, but we'll show the video that came out shortly after, where it got the police looking for him, and then he fled. He went to some island off of the coast of Africa or something, and he was hiding there. Meanwhile, this was going on, but let's play the video. Let's see.
Sean Diddy Combs. Disturbing new video appears to support some of the accusations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
We want to warn you that this video you're about to see is extremely graphic. The surveillance footage that was captured inside of a Los Angeles hotel in 2016 allegedly shows Combs assaulting then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a hallway. A now settled lawsuit filed by Ventura claimed that she was trying to leave the hotel after a drunken Combs punched her. The video appears to show Combs chasing her down the hall, throwing her to the ground, and then repeatedly kicking her. So far, there's been no comment from Combs or his attorney.
Wild. So there you go. More or less, the video of what he was doing that day. That video came out, and I guess there was also another case by some dude named Lil Rod who put out this case against him. But that one was kind of like sealed. It wasn't visible for the public to see, but it since has become unsealed. So we'll take a look at that and see what does that mean for everything that's going on. That's really the where the bombshell lives. So let's go to the beginning of this whole thing. And also, I have a connection to something that recently happened that I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to. Everyone's looking at this from all these angles, right? But I haven't seen this angle, so I want to get to this angle quickly before anything else. A while ago, here, check out this article. Sean Diddy Combs returns key to New York at the request of mayor. Oh, actually, wrong video. He received the key from the mayor. So, here it is. The bad boy of politics, New York Post. Bad boy of politics, Mayor Adam awards key to the city. So, he first, check this out.
Come on. I want to see y'all dancing. Right there. Come on now. It's a nice lane for y'all.
Damn, I'm going to get copyrighted. Hold on. I'm gonna get copyrighted. No, let's not play that. They'll take me down for that. Anyways, there's this big celebration at Times Square. And the mayor came out, gave him the key to the city. Here we go. Here it is.
He already has the keys to some pretty exclusive places, and now Sean Diddy Combs can add New York City to that list. It's Diddy Day in the city. Videos have been playing on the Jumbotron for TSX Broadway, and the crowd waited. Then around 11:30, the doors opened for the mayor and the artist.
The bad boy of entertainment is getting the key to the city from the bad boy of politics. I want to thank y'all for this honor and just recognizing me being from New York, giving me the key to the city. Diddy finally has the key to the city.
Today's event coincides with the release of his new album, The Love Album, Off the Grid.
So you heard it from the mayor himself. He's the bad boy of politics. So this dude, the mayor, right, gave the key to the city to p-diddy, and then little short while after that video that we just watched of Cassie getting beat up at the elevator, and then the mayor then requested the key in return.
New tonight, Sean Diddy Combs returned his honorary key to the city at the request of Mayor Eric Adams. The Harlem native was awarded the key last September, but returned it on June 10th. The mayor's request was sent following the release of this video, which depicts Combs attacking R&B singer Cassie in the hallway of a Los Angeles hotel. In the request for the key's return, Mayor Adams wrote, quote, "I strongly condemn these actions and stand in solidarity with all survivors of domestic and gender-based violence."
There you go. So then the mayor took the key back, right? Try to put some distance between P. Diddy and himself, right? Question is, why did he give him the key? Like, are they homies? Like, is the mayor at Diddy's parties? You know, what's going on there? Why did he revoke the key? You know, so what's really, really, really interesting about this is that a little while ago, the mayor got raided by the FBI. So first it was his top legal advisor quit, as investigations quell, right? So look, check it out. So like they were feeling the heat, you know, his top legal advisor quit right away. Here, the top legal advisor to New York City Mayor Eric Adams resigned abruptly over the weekend, the latest sign of instability in the Democrats' administration as it deals with multiple federal investigations. Multiple. City Hall announced Lisa Zornberg's departure late Saturday night. She had advised Adam on other city officials on legal strategy for over a year and often parried legal questions from the press on his behalf. She was not his personal lawyer, but more like the lawyer for the city, right? It's been a great honor to serve the city. I'm tendering my resignation effective today. I've concluded that I can no longer effectively serve in my position. So she did this September 15th, 2024. So this was like, you know, not that long ago. September 15th, 2024. So keep that in mind. She resigns first. And then here is the raid. More raids hit Adams Circle. Here's everything we know about the federal probes. Check this out.
Standing by several members of his inner circle and the NYPD commissioner who had their phones seized this week in connection with federal corruption investigations. Our own Jonathan Dean spoke with the mayor tonight, who is not voicing concern about the cloud hovering over City Hall.
A lot of New Yorkers are wondering why you do not seem to think that this is a big problem.
Well, I have to stay focused.
The mayor staying on message, projecting confidence,
The mayor.
despite some pressure for his police commissioner to step aside. Adams says he does not know what the growing federal investigations are about.
We want to know exactly what the agency is looking for, and they will make a determination.
Of course you want to know exactly
Several
what they're
sources
looking
say
for.
the
Of
twin
course.
brother of NYPD Commissioner Eddie Caban is facing some scrutiny. Several sources say investigators are asking if any NYPD officers in some Midtown Manhattan and Queens precincts gave special treatment to clubs that were paying James Caban. There are questions, too, if James Caban tried to seek promotions for some officers who may have helped him. We are told IRS criminal investigations agents have now joined the investigation. A spokeswoman declined comment. No one has been charged. An NYPD spokesman declined to comment. Several messages left for James Caban not returned. Details still unclear, but sources say other questions include, did James Caban do any business with nightclubs while traveling with an NYPD security detail? Did any police supervisors make decisions to place NYPD cameras based on which clubs might be paying Caban? Sources tell us cell phones for the police commissioner and his brother James were seized by the feds this week, as were phones of
Damn, they got their phones.
officers
They're
at
done.
police
They're cooked.
headquarters in Midtown and in Queens. A New York Post editorial called for Commissioner Caban to step aside, given the optics of the ongoing investigation.
The agency is professional. They're going to do their job.
In a separate criminal investigation, the FBI also seized the phones of many of Mayor Adams' inner circle at City Hall, including Schools Chancellor David Banks, who says he's cooperating.
The
Deputy
school
Mayor for
chancellor.
Public Safety Phil Banks, who through his high-powered lawyer Ben Brofman declined comment. And a third brother, Terrence Banks, who has a private consulting business. His lawyer says Terry Banks is not a target of the investigation.
Again, no charges have been filed. As sources tell us, it will likely be weeks as investigators try to go through the phones that were seized this week. Jonathan Dienst, News 4 New York.
Very, 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 very interesting. Everybody around the mayor and at the time that video was made, not the mayor, was being investigated. But then the next day, the feds seized the mayor's phones as well. All his electronic devices, everything they have on him, they seized. Here, look, check this out. The FBI seized the electronic devices of New York City Mayor Eric Adams as part of a federal investigation to the previously brought FBI investigation, right? The FBI declined to comment. The mayor's office confirmed that the seizure took place on Monday. So that was Saturday, Monday, so just 2 days later. As a former member of law enforcement, I expect all members of my staff to follow the law and blah, 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 whoop-de-wop. So now they got the mayor's shit. So it ain't just about anybody else. Now the mayor is implicated. This is important because we have video of him giving p-diddy the key to the city. We have him taking away the key just a little while ago. And then we have this whole fallout everyone's getting grabbed. Notice, and this isn't racism, so don't even go there. But what are the chances that the mayor, the police commissioner, the school official, the lawyer, all of them are black? What are the chances of that? You know what I mean? And then and we know that his police chief, was going to clubs with a police escort, possibly collecting money, getting payouts for who? For the mayor? Or what does the mayor have to do with clubs? And p-diddy hosts parties. Does p-diddy use the clubs? Like, what's going on? Something's going on right there for sure. Something funny. So let's go back now. Let's refocus on p-diddy and what this has to do with that. But I just thought that was an interesting point that a lot of people are not looking at. Let's take a look at the actual rate of p-diddy himself.
They're going to probably be arresting me just because we want to have a good time.
Multiple safes broken into, drawers ripped open, closets ransacked, boxes of gun ammo, and Grammy Awards. New images from TMZ show inside Diddy's ransacked Beverly Hills mansion during the coast-to-coast raids where no arrests were made.
People in the home are traditionally detained during raids, so they don't flee, and so they don't destroy evidence.
The rapper's attorney calls it a witch hunt with an excessive show of force and hostility that led to a premature rush to judgment, adding Diddy will continue to fight every single day to clear his name.
They don't execute these types of search warrants until they believe they have an ironclad case.
So, where's the 54-year-old now? Unclear, but his jet that traveled to Antigua from LA on Monday just landed in Miami today. That's where Diddy was last seen, reportedly bound for a Caribbean spring vacation with his two daughters. Also with him, an associate, Brendan Paul, who was arrested for alleged drug possession. He's been accused in a lawsuit of being a, quote, drug mule for Diddy, but hasn't commented. At least 5 lawsuits have been filed, nearly all by those claiming Diddy drugged and forced them into having sex. Longtime enemy 50 Cent posted that his upcoming docuseries on the allegations is now entitled Diddy Do It.
What we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. So I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it.
As the sex trafficking investigation continues, interviews with Diddy's star proteges are going viral, including Usher, who said as a teen, the rapper introduced him to a hypersexual environment he called Puffy Flavor Camp.
You know, hot girls, pretty girls. I'm around grown women, and I'm seeing them do things and have experiences that I'm not quite ready for.
Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out some girls.
Man after my heart, that's what I'm talking about.
As I said before, I'm innocent.
Diddy talked to E.T. about his prior trouble with the law, including that infamous 1999 nightclub shooting. At the time, he and then-girlfriend J-Lo were both arrested.
I wish I would have stayed at home.
J-Lo's a goon. J-Lo's a goon.
Was ultimately acquitted, but what can we expect if he's charged and tried in his new federal probe?
Diddy has essentially unlimited funds to defend this case, and I expect him to litigate it very aggressively. Ultimately, I think Diddy is going to be indicted by a grand jury. If Diddy waives his right to a speedy trial, he could potentially push the case out a year or more.
I can't be in this position again. I can't. I got to try my best to do everything not to be in the wrong place at the wrong.
So that's how it started, right? Raided his crib. He ran away to Africa, probably consulted with some legal people, and they were like, hey, look, come back so you don't look guilty. He came back to Miami, his old school stomping grounds. That's where he used to hang out in Miami. So he went back there, and he was down there hiding out for a while till he recently got arrested in New York. So that's where they grabbed him at recently. So let's look at some of the allegations that came out between here and there, right? Andre 3000 and Jamie Foxx reveal what they saw at Diddy parties. So let's just scope this out real quick.
There has been negative propaganda put out about me that's not true.
Hanging out with? Are you hanging out with Diddy? What are you doing?
I mean, yeah.
popped out the town car with a camera. Said, yo, Puff, yo, you gotta let me film this. The whole thing, we need to document this, Playboy. He was like, party. And he got pissed at me. He said, yo, don't Playboy, don't play with me. You know I am, I'm Diddy, you know what I'm saying?
So Jamie Foxx suffered a very serious medical emergency that landed.
Yeah. Y'all know about that, right? People were speculating that he died. But Jamie Foxx didn't die. They then released he was going through some crazy health scare that where they thought he could have died, but he didn't. He made it. Who knows if that was like a Diddy hit or if maybe that was a COVID thing. I think they forced him to take a shot. So let's keep listening.
Him in the hospital.
It's too many coincidences.
Andre 3000 and Jamie Foxx just set the internet on fire after finally breaking their silence on the disturbing things they saw at Diddy's freak-off parties and the things he forced them to indulge in without their consent. Apparently, these parties are some form of ritualistic sacrifice to initiate them into the industry. Andre 3000 was one of the most successful artists back in the 2000s, but he ran from Hollywood during the peak of his career and never looked back. And of course, people believe this has to do with the things that he was forced to participate in the
Dave
industry. Jamie Foxx also reportedly went through the same fate in the hands of Diddy. And at some point, Diddy allegedly tried to unalive Jamie because he didn't want him to speak out. People started looking into Jamie and Diddy's relationship about a year ago when Jamie was suddenly rushed to the hospital for a medical emergency. His entire family was super private about the details of his illness, and no one knew if he was gonna make it out or just drop dead. After he recovered from his condition, he revealed that the entire experience was really traumatic for him, and he even said he went.
Remember me for the jokes that I crack, the movies that I make. Some of them good, some of them ain't. I think I got a good one out.
So yeah, you get the gist of that. Some of those allegations. A whole ass documentary came out, Freak Off's Dark List documentary. So this whole thing came out.
The last Freak Off tape that just
Jaguar, right? This girl came out recently on like basically every hood podcast and just like put all this out on blast, acting kind of like in Cat Williams like type of like energy, but like see, here's the thing. Cat Williams has always said shit like that. You know what I mean? He's always been talking like that. And I really like Cat Williams for that. But all these other bums, all of a sudden, have all types of shit to say. But where were they not that long ago? What were they saying? Like, nothing. They weren't saying nothing. So I don't trust nobody who doesn't talk until they think they're going to get caught up, you know?
Hold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown.
Damn.
Justin Bieber.
Drake.
It was a really interesting night in Calabasas, and he just sold that footage.
How come you think it doesn't get leaked to the public?
The dark net?
Yeah, like...
Because of the dark coin. Most people don't even know that the dark coin exists.
The Dark Queen. Yo, what the fuck?
Because P-Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
But me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying? I like when you like this, Daddy.
Where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit. No, make a wish. Just blow it out. It's your birthday every day.
Where I look back on where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real, because I'm saying it seems like a thing.
I miss
his birthday
with
party,
Puff, man.
Man, but I'm talking about for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying?
Body my baby,
Yo,
bro. We
these
here.
clips are wild as
Tomorrow
shit.
it's time. It's time. What you gonna do to that thing, man? Yeah, they better tune in.
Wait, who's that?
Tune in.
Who's that?
Let's go. Everybody, my baby, bro. We here. Tomorrow it's time. It's time. What you gonna do to that thing, man? Yeah, they better tune in. They better tune in. Let's go.
The Diddy, the parties, not got invited to those. He was in Cali going to a couple parties with Meek, right? And Meek told
Meek Mill's getting blasted out here.
He can't
with
go
all types of
you
shit.
know, what two or three parties, yeah. So he got left like at the crib or Airbnb, hotel, mansion, wherever they was. Like he couldn't go.
Why?
Like yo, you can go like Monday and Tuesday you can go to this party, but Wednesday and Thursday when we go to this other mansion party, you got to stay back. That's just coming from my inside guy. Like this is truth. Like, you know what I mean? That party, like when they say Diddy party, yeah, a few people was around at that time and they couldn't go.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Perhaps Diddy and Meek Mill has.
Why would they not have sex when they're gay rappers?
Do you think Meek Mill's gay?
We all know he's gay.
Who's we?
Rick Ross knows he's gay.
Oh shit!
Everybody, Rick Ross knows.
You think Rick Ross would sign a gay rapper?
Rick Ross knows he's gay. Is what I said. Everybody know you paid me $2,000 to say that, right?
Me?
You only paid me $2,000
to say Rick Ross is gay? No, no, to say Meek Mill is.
Okay, well, yeah, Meek Mills is gay.
I've never told you to say that anyone is gay. For the record.
So Meek Mills is gay.
No, he seemed very unhappy with that characterization.
Fuck that shit, nigga. Fuck that.
God damn.
All the champagne was spiked, son. Like, all the champagne was spiked. Everybody was passed the fuck out. I don't drink, so I was playing that shit off like I don't fucking drink. I smoke, nigga. Like, I smoke and I had my own weed, but, like, everybody was passed out. Yo, Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the fucking door and I brought the phone because Diddy started going in overdrive. I ain't know what the fuck was going on, but I just heard balls slapping against ass cheeks. I heard niggas struggling to take dick.
Yo!
I heard niggas being like, yeah, daddy. Like, when he started all that daddy this and daddy that, and then I heard some hollering and struggling like, yeah, I kept the phone there and I recorded all that shit because I was like, this nigga Diddy rich. So I'm finna put the squeeze on and give me a couple dollars and just ain't, you know what I'm saying? There's nobody believed that was really Diddy beating Meek back in. But now y'all motherfuckers believe the video, right? Right? Somebody throw me a couple dollars.
You know, it's important to review all this because it's, you know, these are all the alleged allegations. This is Meek Mills at a Diddy party.
A new chapter in my life, and you did too. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You ain't had a drink in a year. You know what I'm saying? You look phenomenal.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn some...
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw
Yo, there should be no 13-year-old. Like, you can't consent to seeing, like, that's criminality. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, his parents should be arrested for allowing their 13-year-old usher child to go to Diddy camp. And he's telling this story in retrospect, but, like, that's, even just that right there is enough. You know what I mean? That's just wrong. I mean, you know. It's crazy.
And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, you know, some woman.
I mean, damn, pause, but like, just I mean,
Wait, what? Wait,
back
what?
in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause.
Hey, look at Kevin Hart
But it's my brother for real.
laughing nervously in the corner and shit.
all for the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
I'm like, ever since Kevin Hart started getting famous, he's now in like all these like super like well-budgeted Hollywood movies, like some like high-level Hollywood shit. And like, I never liked Kevin Hart. I never thought he was funny. I never liked nothing about him. He's like always like playing on this like I'm short thing. Like, I just don't like it. I was never into Kevin Hart. I've never liked. I mean, some things in his comedy specials are funny. You know, like it's kind of like the movies. When you put enough money behind something, it's gonna work. Like no matter what, because the entire industry's backing it. You know what I mean? But Kevin Hart is whack. I'm gonna just put that out there.
what the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's going to acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was fucking stupid. Listen, we having a good time, yo. Oh, your usher made it in the... Hey, yo. Let's just put the camera a little this way just so we're not... I don't want my shot to even... Like, I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane.
Just that, Diddy told him personally that he had sex with Usher. And when you look at the lawsuit, even though they got Usher's name redacted, you could tell who it is because they described him as the guy that performed at the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, I mean, we all know who that is, but how you feel about that, man?
Well, I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay. And I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business. Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you gonna give him a pass?
Usher, I'm tired of Usher.
It's probably not. I mean, you got to think about it. Like when somebody describes the level of power that they have to you, some people are gonna be strong-willed, and they're not gonna let nobody put a boot to their neck. But some people who at a young age have been preconditioned may not be able to fight that boot off their neck, so maybe that's why Usher is stuck in that predicament,
No. Got your asshole ripped open and the only thing it inspired was loyalty? They ripped your ass open. Gene didn't say it. He said, check the records at the hospital. I'm saying it. You got your ripped open. Then you take Justin Bieber from Lily White, Canada, and take him to the Flavor of Fuck Off, the Kitty edition. Get his ripped open. Now everything's coming out, and the first thing you do is run the Bolly with another Kitty Ray who works with the man, L.A. Reid, that sent you to the Diddy Flavor Freak Off.
Not the Flavor Freak Off.
Okay, listening to her say that actually kind of makes me change my mind a little bit on what I just said, because after looking at like a lot of the local type of like weird chomo behavior that happens like out here in the Bay Area, there is something to say about the abused becoming the abuser. So, that is also a thing. So, at what point does the abused turning into an abuser, where do they start taking responsibility for that, So if Usher's still participating in this shit as an adult and bringing in even other kids and being cool with that, then I gotta say he gotta take an L for that.
Now you got Justin Bieber breaking up relationships and shit. Suck Odell Beckham dick at the club, and the next thing you know, he don't even want Kim no more.
You did a pretty good job. I think I'm going for more of the bun than the ponytail. So if you could redo it and just pull this over like that.
there's something to say about you know, all this happening too. There's other people that are like also kind of ghoulish that kind of remind me, like Ellen DeGenerate. There's a weird interview with her and Justin Bieber. She's being kind of inappropriate and shit. Like there's all this weird stuff. There's every time you see young actors,
The new Tevin
it's
Campbell.
weird.
Yeah, they show him crying. You're almost giving him a gateway to speak his truth of what happened. Cause
I wish Tevin Campbell would speak to him.
See, I think that when p-diddy does that type of stuff right there, I think that's part of the manipulation. What I think what he's doing is he's getting close to the camera and he's saying stuff that's like real close to what people don't want to say. It's like a threat, you know? He's like, yo, remember, you know? And so I feel like that's kind of maybe some type of like subversive communication, like where he's just like doing some weird blackmail threatening type shit.
You rock this every time you come in LA. Yeah, this will be yours. As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come in LA. Yeah, this will be yours. So every time you come in LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, let me get the first shot of this.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down, Judge.
Okay.
Let's slow down. Okay.
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right, man.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion.
Yeah.
So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like.
Yeah, see, I don't know. That one actually made me a little bit uncomfortable. I'm gonna take that shit off. Woo, shit, man, that's just wild. Let's check out. 50's been clapping at P Diddy for a while too. Let's check that out.
He says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. He says something fabulous and he goes, yo, no, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What are you talking about? And when people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. Like, when you see Jadakiss put his head down, like, while we stuck here right now, and the cameras is rolling, everybody see, don't make like it's just me, man. Fluffy do some like a little fluffy stuff
Now
going
you guys
on. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding. Let me get out of no, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
I asked 50 about that, and he said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes. What? I'm a nice guy. I don't have no beef with Fifth. He loves me. Y'all can't see that he loves me? You really think that's hate? You know he loves me. I don't think he like you. You know he loves me.
He said, I don't think he like you. That's pretty wild. So all this is coming out, but then there is, all right, so now that we've done the recap of all the allegations, right? That's all the hood drama around all the allegations. All of it's kind of circumstantial evidence, hearsay, all this, whatever, right? But then Lil Rod puts out some real shit, and it goes to court, and then this is what the federal indictment is about. So,
the new allegations against John Diddy Combs, a music producer, is accusing hip-hop mogul of assaulting him and forcing him to have sex with prostitutes.
It's very scary for myself, and it has me worried about my kids, and just sleeping with anxiety and different things like that. So just moving forward.
Man, you doing it, man.
There's gonna be a lot of the repeat clips, but yes, Lil Rod comes out, he talks, but there's a case out on that, right? So let's look at it. Let's actually look at it because it has been unsealed. Recently, that case was unsealed. So let's read up on that case. Let's open this file right here. Here we go. So here are the defendants: Sean Combs and his brother, Ethiopia Haptemariam. I don't know who that is. Somebody's got to start looking at all these names, though. Christina Coram, Lucien Charles Grange, Chalice Recording Studios, Love Records, Motown Records, Universal Music Group, Combs Global Enterprises, ABC Corporations. Plaintiff, Rodney Lil Rod Jones. Let's look at this. Plaintiff Rodney Lil Rod Jones alleges that the defendant Sean Combs and the defendant Lucien Charles Grange, right, that they did as follows. So here's the defendant and his brother, the parties. So they talk about the parties, right? And then here are other named people. Ethiopia Haptemariam. I've got to look into her. I didn't look into her before this podcast because this is just like a real deep rabbit hole. But, you know, these are all the people involved. The summary of events. He produced a song for him and an album called the Love Album. He spent times with him for the holidays, birthdays, family events. He resided at his private residences. He witnessed, experienced, and endured many things that went far beyond his role as a producer on the Love Album. So the claims raised in this complaint have been corroborated through witness statements, video, audio recordings, and images that Mr. Jones has in his possession. So he went all out. Like, this dude went and did a whole thorough, like, you know, he dotted his I's. And this must have been because, you know, maybe he knew that this was the only way out. So Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to record him constantly. On several occasions, Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones' cell phone and began recording himself. As a result, Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. Irrefutable evidence of acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, mushrooms, and also some weird new pink drug that everyone's talking about. That is apparently p-diddy is the distributor of this new drug. The displaying and distribution of unregistered illegal firearms. It just goes on and on and on. It's just crazy. Mr. Combs detailing how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop TD, Young Miami's cousin, assistant to sexual assaults, actor Cuba Gooding Jr., sexually harassing and assaulting Mr. Jones on his yacht, with consorting with underage girls and sex workers, R&B singer Redacted. So some names are redacted, which means their lawyers were better and they were able to take their names off of this. Chalice Records Recording in LA. A friend named Mr. G. I think we're going to get into that in a bit. So some shooting happened, heated conversation. Gunshots rang out, multiple shots. So apparently there's like murder involved here. People got murked and it went unnoticed. You know? And so, yeah. So people have been... Yo, this is wild. Like, these people were shooting. These people were just crazy. So here you can see man shot outside party at Hollywood recording studio. Allegedly, you know, this was done by him. So the police did this investigation. Check it out. He's got video. He's got pictures of the blood, aftermath of the shooting of G. And G is a redacted name. They're not going to say who it is. This is crazy as shit. Just think about this, how deep this goes. Mr. Jones was sexually harassed and assaulted by Mr. Combs. Throughout his time living with Mr. Combs, he did all types of unauthorized groping and touching of his anus. This is very specific, crazy ass stuff. Y'all should go read this. I'll put a link to the actual case file so y'all can read it. Mr. Combs attempted to groom Mr. Jones into engaging in gay sex. He's done all this stuff. He's talking about other names implicated here. Let's look. Stevie J, Mariah Carey, Tevin Campbell and Notorious B.I.G., 112, Faith Evans, Jay-Z. This is the producer that made all that music. So all these people are going to get named pretty soon. There's already a list of names that put out by p-diddy himself. We'll get into that in a sec. He's basically saying, if I go down, we all go down. So the following are screenshots of a video of Stevie J anally penetrating a Caucasian male that Mr. Combs provided to Mr. Jones. This is some insane level shit. Here you can see even more images. Thanksgiving, Young Miami's cousin. Look at all this. This dude went in all in. He's got all kinds of stuff here. Again, underage sex work, all kinds of stuff is going on here. And it all is dated. It's all been brought in. You know, it's all evidence. Sex workers being drugged. Sex workers that he forced to do all kinds of stuff. I don't even know if I could read all this because they might just take it down, but it might be all right. I'm not that famous. So, yeah, here are some of the organizations that provided the sex workers. Booby Trap on the River. So I didn't look into that either. I should look into that for sure because that is who was servicing them. So we should definitely look into that organization. Booby Trap on the River. That's crazy. And he's got calls. He's got all kinds of stuff here. Images of people. He's got Mr. Combs with an underage female. Actual pictures of the whole entire situations. So look, like YouTube can do its YouTube thing, but this is real. Here is a motherfucking picture of Cuba Gooding Jr. forcibly touching Mr. Jones on his yacht. So we just saw Cuba Gooding Jr. on that video trying to defend himself. Yo, he's done. He's done. He's done. $50,000 bribes, $21,000, $29,000. So they're just throwing money at the problem, trying to make it go away. Here's another. DeForest Taylor threats to Mr. Jones. People making threats to him. You playing? I'm in the studio. You 100% liar and weirdo. So I think they kind of knew that he was on the fence, you know, that he might be flipping. Sean Combs, Jennifer Lopez arrested after NY shooting. So now, here's where it gets interesting. There was a shooting, but this is where one of the guys that I actually did look into, which I'll get into right now, is this dude named right here, Fahim Mohammed. This guy right here, Fahim Mohammed. Apparently this dude is a guy. We'll get into him. So we'll come back to that because I got more stuff on that. But that dude is like the security, the guy, the muscle, you know, the muscle for P. Diddy. He did all kinds of spook behavior. So we'll get into that. Don't even trip. But in here are all the allegations about the drugs. There's even more names in here. The Art of Dialogue, former bodyguard Gene Deal, right? Exposed him for pill mixing. Mark Curry, that dude too. There's all kinds of people on this. Defendant Christina Coram is the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs, Jeffrey Epstein. So here they're drawing, comparisons to the Epstein case. They're saying that Christina Coram acts like a Ghislaine Maxwell or Ghislaine, however you pronounce that bitch's name. Here's that pink drug I was talking about, which is cocaine and GHB and ecstasy, and they call it Tusi or Tuki, or I don't know. I think it's Tusi. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that, but he's got pictures of it. He's shown what it looks like, and I guess this was P. Diddy's favorite drug. This is what he actually distributed, so he was also a drug distribution mastermind of some kind. Yeah, it goes on and on and on and on and on. So for the sake of keeping this kind of, we'll kind of keep this short, but here they go into all the payments. They go into a lot of specifics, like a whole lot of specifics. It's crazy. I'm surprised this dude, Lil Rod, is even alive. Like, how was he able to get off this type of information? It goes on and on and on. Motown Records. All types of stuff is implicated here. Obstruction of the enforcement of the Trafficking Victim Protection Act. So they're charging this dude with all kinds of stuff. And this is a real case. You know what I mean? This is a real deal. So let's get into this dude, Fahim Mohammed, because he's a very interesting character. I want to show you guys something that maybe nobody is paying attention to either about this dude. So who is he? Let's check him out for a second and try and figure out who he is. Here is a video of him testifying when he was, I ain't even playing, when he was Michael Jackson's head of security, which may explain why Michael Jackson is done.
Mr. Mohammed, I want to take your attention back to June of 2009. At that time, where did you work?
For Michael Jackson, sir.
Okay. And what did you do for Michael Jackson in June 2009?
I worked his security for him.
I'm sorry?
I worked security for him, security.
Okay. And in June of 2009, at that point in time, how long had you worked security for Mr. Jackson?
Approximately 10 months.
Okay. And what were your responsibilities?
I was the chief of his security, so my responsibilities ranged from making sure his house was protected, making sure his children were protected, and making sure his day-to-day activities and movement was all safe and planned and mapped out.
What did you see when you first came in?
When I came into the room, I saw Alberto standing up, kind of pacing. I saw Mr. Jackson's feet near the side of the bed on the ground. And as I continued to walk over, I could see the rest of his body. And I saw Dr. Murray near his side.
Does that show that far side of the bed in the general floor area?
Yes.
Okay. And does this depict generally where Michael Jackson's body was?
Yes.
Okay. So again, when you first came in and you saw Mr. Jackson's feet, where was Dr. Murray?
Dr. Murray was to his right, on the opposite side of him, near the far side of the bed on the other side.
And when you came around to the far side of the bed, what was Conrad Murray doing?
He appeared to be administering CPR. He appeared very nervous. He was on his side. He was sweating. And he appeared to be administering CPR.
Okay. And
that's the doctor right there.
At that time, did you see Michael Jackson's face and his full body?
Yes.
And what did you observe about his face at that time?
That his eyes were open and that his mouth was slightly open.
Okay. Did he appear to be dead?
Yes.
At that point, did you observe any medical equipment, any type of monitoring equipment, heart monitors, anything of that nature hooked up to Mr. Jackson?
So check this out. That's him, head of Jackson Security, right? But that's not the only case he caught. Here he is, September 2011, caught another case.
Thank you, Judge.
Conrad Murray.
Can we redirect, Mr. Walgren?
No further questions.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
May Mr. Williams step down subject to recall, Mr. Walgren?
Yes, Your Honor.
Turn off.
Now, I don't know who Oh, well, I guess that's
a
the
lot of
doctor.
each other because we think we know what the answer is going to be before the question.
So, okay, so there he is. And then, so we know that, right? So then he, at some point, became head of security for p-diddy, which is a weird-ass coincidence. So let's look into that.
Puffy made it clear that his head of security had the power to make people and problems disappear. Now you see this gentleman and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Fahim, shout out to Fahim. Do you know that there was a doctor and another man in the room when Michael Jackson died? And do you know who was the other man in the room with the doctor and Michael Jackson? Does anybody want to take a guess who that other man was? And it's like,
and that was exposed thanks to the Lil Rod case. So that's Fahim Mohammed, right? Why is this important? Because I'm going to show you guys a crazy video that probably is going to get taken down soon now that all of this has been unredacted, right? The case has been unsealed. But watch this crazy ass video, and I hope it's still out there. I didn't download it. Usually I download these just in case they get taken down. But check this out. This is some wild ass shit right here.
48.
Oh man, I hate when that happens. One more time.
40 acres of land in San Diego County. That's what one dad gave his son for his 13th birthday.
He posted about it on social media.
This is
and their
eerie
story
as
went
hell.
viral. Rapper Sean Combs even posted about it. CBS
Even
8's
P.
Adam
Diddy
Moore
posted
went to
about
Boulevard
it.
That's about an hour east of our newsroom.
Of course
to
he
see
did.
what they're going to do with all that land.
We're not just out here in the middle of nowhere. Look how close we are to the border wall with Mexico. Now, when we were driving out...
Yo, check that out. Look. Yo, look at that. Look at that. Yo, you can't even make this up. The border wall is right on the property. So that means that Fahim Mohammed purchased land for his son adjacent to the border. Why is that important? Because where they're getting all of these children from for all these alleged freak-offs and all this, right? Why does this dude have land near the border? Of course he's going to buy it and put it in his son's name, because that way if the feds come, they can't take it. You know, I mean, they probably still can, depending. I don't know what the laws are around gifting land to children and stuff like this. But he made it so that it's untraceable to him, except that there's this giant story that they did on it, which I don't know why did they do this? Who did this story? Who posted this? CBS, San Diego. Why are they making a story out of this? It's weird.
All I saw were a bunch of boulders and a few trees, but when Fahim Mohammed came out here, all he saw was potential.
Yeah, potential for what?
We see
the
clear
fuck?
Space that we uninterruptedly we can enjoy nature. You know what I mean? Especially growing up in the city, a congested city like LA. When we're out here, I mean, it's totally
Oh,
different.
so he's from LA.
Mohammed bought 198 acres out here in Boulevard to get away.
It's real quiet.
Yeah, this is not like Chicago, not like LA.
He lives in Los Angeles and runs a real estate business that buys and rebuilds properties in the south side of Chicago. He says to create a better living situation for the black community there.
What's happening with this renovation right here?
His company, Oasis Investment Group, even teaches people home
Somebody got to
ownership.
look into Oasis Investment Group. See what's up with them.
Government assistance for years, and now they're actually enrolling in courses to learn how to buy their own homes.
Fahim says his mom taught he and his siblings how important it is to own your own property and to help their community. So when his son Fahim recently turned 13, he gave him 40 acres.
I thought it would be a great opportunity to teach him a life lesson about the value of land.
And they're teaching other kids from LA these lessons too.
So all them regular rocks you picked?
I don't like nobody teaching kids lessons.
Hike, ride ATVs, and build campfires. You can tell how much their family loves it when I ask them what it's like out here at night.
Amazing.
It was fun.
You get full view of the stars. It's like
Cause like there's no city lights out here, so you get to no pollution stuff like that. So you get to see like clear sky. You can see all the stars and stuff. It was fun.
13-year-old Fahim has some ideas for his.
Man, they don't give a fuck about that land. You can tell right away. They're like, man, what the fuck?
And even though they're right beside the border wall, they've had no problems. Out here, these city kids enjoy their own private
And something to keep in mind though, real quick. Like, check it out. Like, look at the border wall.
And even though they're right beside the border wall, they've had no.
Who built that wall? Who you think built it? That's a Trump wall if I ever saw one. So isn't that funny that Trump is saying all these things about stopping human trafficking and illicit activities, and he's directly affecting these areas, you know, like without him even knowing, he made it more difficult for p-diddy to get victims through Fahim Mohammed by building a border wall on that property. You know what I mean? And it clearly has an access road for service. And I wonder what the traffic is, because right now, there's all kinds of videos, and I put some of those videos in my last podcast of people riding on boats and crossing over into Carlsbad, San Diego. And then there's also a lot of clips of all kinds of stuff happening at the border. People are just moving in by the thousands every day. So I think somebody should go out there. If I had all the time and money in the world to do, like, you know, private journalism, I'd want to go check this property out and see what's going on here. You know, like, what kind of traffic are they getting through here? And there's no way that there's no activity living right next to the border wall. Why would anyone want to live right next to the border wall? And why would anyone want to give their kids land right next to the border wall? It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all.
Out here, these city kids enjoy their own private open space.
You got fresh water. You got clear skies.
Man, they keep talking about the fresh water and the skies. There ain't nothing there. There ain't nothing there. Fresh water and skies. Fuck out of here with that shit. So just like, yo, think about that for a second. That's how crazy that is. You know, that's how crazy that is. That is crazy. You know, so other people involved. This dude, Clive Davis, was named in that same lawsuit. This dude is an executive for basically everybody. He's an executive. He handles everything. This dude's done a lot. You know, he's worked. He's the top of the top of this honeycomb operation. You know, so that y'all can go read on him. Clive Davis, go check him out. Watch a quick little video on him real quick. Not spend too much time on that.
My focus right now is Sean Combs because he's a trafficker, most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, Clive Davis.
Rumor has it, allegedly, Diddy got on his knees for Clive Davis in 1994.
He got a boss too, and his boss name is Clive Davis. Clive run him. Diddy don't run himself.
Diddy don't run
Some
himself.
people question how Diddy became so evil. Well, it turns out he's just like his mentor, Clive Davis. This creepy man taught Diddy everything he knows, how to use people, take advantage of their body, and dispose of them when they aren't worth any more money. Clive Davis is a sick man, and we are exposing him in this video. So let's get into it.
Yeah, y'all go watch that video. He goes into all of it, but yes, you know, there's a lot of information there about this dude Clive Davis that you can, just from the glimpse of that video, you can make out. You know, I mean, you already know. So let's keep going. Yeah, Oasis. Here's the. I did kind of get a link on his real estate ventures. Oasis, a real estate investment fund, teaches young men in Chicago how to reclaim their communities. Economic development, blah, 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 blah. Sob story about growing up in the hood. All this, right? So there's Fahim Muhammad. Somebody should go look at this immediately. Somebody should go look at all this immediately. Multiple stories about him buying his 13-year-old son 40 acres of land in California. It's just like that, It's just like that. And then here's Obama. Check out Obama and p-diddy.
And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
Since we applaud you, and I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool. We
a t-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
Yeah, there you go.
Y'all.
Obama. And here he is with Hillary, the one and only.
We're going to talk about a problem that we have in young America. Young Americans being disenfranchised. Only 36% of us have voted. And I wanted you to speak. You're one of the few politicians that young people relate to. And we want
ain't nobody relate to that fucking ghoulish creature.
Young people that, and please talk to the people that are.
Yo, so there he is, shaking hands with all the predictable goons that are involved in all of this, So, more stories came out. Here's another story that came out about another dude whose case has been unsealed. This one's crazy. Check this out.
Daddy.
Yeah.
p-diddy, whatever you call yourself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right?
People made fun of this dude, but now they're not making fun of him.
And I came back and I sued him for the herbies and won. But Diddy and Ross, which they're good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross.
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, the fake Rick Ross, the whack ass Rick Ross, who has been exposed as being the head of a correctional facility in Florida, who stole the name from Freeway Ricky Ross, the real Rick Ross, who recently got out, who also worked for the CIA. The CIA gave the real Rick Ross crack cocaine to distribute throughout the Los Angeles area and Oakland, in order to fund a war for the Iran-Contras in Guatemala. I ain't even making this up. Y'all got to go look at that. That's a whole nother thing. But also, the fake Rick Ross is allegedly a homosexual and best friends with DJ Khaled, who's also gay, and P-Diddy. Some crazy shit.
Okay? Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
I seen the liquor cocaine. I've drank it myself. Having sex with Diddy and Cassie. Okay? It's not good. He drinks it all the time. Alright? He calls it Gigi. That's liquor cocaine.
Alright.
I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. Okay, but he's scared that I was an exposed.
I don't want to talk about Diddy right now. I want to talk about you. Help me understand you. I mean, who?
Now, this is why this is crazy, because this dude, the reason why he was arrested is because he shot up the Trump National Hotel in 2018. One of the first attempts at one of Trump's properties, perpetrated by P. Diddy's sex slave. You can't even make this up. P. Diddy's sex slave shot up Trump Tower in 2018. Ain't nobody even, didn't even make the headlines from the first time he ran for president. That's crazy. Man, play. Why aren't you playing? There we go.
It looks like an exchange of gunfire right out of a Hollywood action movie.
Police say on Friday he opened fire inside President Donald Trump's luxury hotel.
Sir, I'm ordering that you stay away from the Trump National Doral Hotel.
Police say that's where Odie stole an American flag from, and that he went into the lobby yelling anti-Trump remarks before shooting the ceiling and chandeliers. Police say he then got into a gun battle with responding officers.
The gun battle goes on for nearly a minute before Odie decides to make a run for it. Another camera capturing him still firing shots, even tripping on the marble floor. Odie was shot in the legs as he ran away and was arrested after running up a stairwell.
The accused gunman, Jonathan Oddie, faced a judge for the first time Monday.
Mr. Oddie, you were arrested for 5 counts of attempted second-degree murder of a law enforcement officer.
Damn. Ain't that some crazy ass shit? Yo, Anthony Orea says having a sex slave is disgusting. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Yo, it's wild out here, man. Yo, Cat Williams said that they were going to come for them, but fuck. This is a lot, man. This is way too much information for people to keep up with at any given moment, you know? This is just too much shit. You know, and here is P. Diddy with Taylor Swift. So there's that. Let's take a look at that. You know, pictures are not that meaningful, but they're kind of meaningful, you know? Check out this implication.
If this girl start talking, it can be the end of P. Diddy. Not this girl, this girl. So if you have not heard, Kim Kardashian allegedly had some videotapes and audio tapes that was actually recovered in the raid at P. Diddy's home. So Kim Kardashian allegedly has been on high-profile individuals to gain access to confidential information such as documents and top-secret information on weapons. Y'all gotta look at this. Look at this.
Closing in on Kim Kardashian. The FBI investigation, initially a tremor threatening her carefully constructed image, has morphed into a full-blown earthquake threatening to engulf her entire empire. Leaked information paints a picture of a woman who allegedly used a seductive facade to mask a ruthless ambition, wielding stolen documents and secrets like weapons. Kim Kardashian has found herself at the center of a sensational scandal, with federal authorities uncovering a shocking plot allegedly orchestrated by the reality TV star. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has disclosed disturbing details, accusing Kardashian of a scheme involving drugging high-profile men in order to pilfer crucial documents for personal enrichment and blackmail purposes.
Yes, you heard that right. They are accusing her of lacing drinks and things of that nature. So this story gets even crazier. Hold on. Watch this.
Saga unfolded when federal agents executed a dramatic raid on the residence of music mogul Diddy, revealing a cache of incriminating video footage. This footage purportedly captures Kardashian engaged in activities that have sent shockwaves through the entertainment and legal worlds alike. In a turn of events that has both stunned and captivated the public, the FBI claims that Kardashian is not only involved in the theft of vital information, but also used it as leverage to further her own interests. The gravity of these allegations has sent ripples through Hollywood.
So at this point, it look like the feds been keeping up with the Kardashians just like us. So I'm going to keep my ear to the street and I'll...
Yo, and so that puts to light a lot of the other things that happened recently with Kanye West losing custody of his kids, talking about their CIA handlers, and Kim Kardashian is an op. But you kind of got to blame him for that, because why would you marry Kim Kardashian? I mean, she already looked like a terrible person. She's famous for literally, you know, you already know what she's famous for. Like, why would he marry her, you know? It's crazy. Here's Cat Williams talking about that.
What do you think about Kanye rants? What's going on with Kanye? From a distance, obviously, I don't know how well you know Kanye. I don't know if you've been around Kanye, but from a distance, what do you suspect's going on?
I suspect that we're pretty awful people if we say that somebody got a mental illness and then we watch what they do. If you say somebody got special needs, then why would you be watching them and holding them accountable like everybody else? Wouldn't you grade them on a curve? Wouldn't you go, whew, this guy? Because, I mean, what are we reacting to? What are we reacting to? You're the one that put him in a position where he thought he was God and could call himself Jesus. And you're the one told a guy that writes musical lyrics that he was a genius.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one that's like, so what do you expect? The guy married a whore. Like, what?
Oh, Lord.
Like, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, married her because she was one. Not he didn't know. He understood that he wanted that. He courted that. That's what he wanted, to base his family
she got
on.
a good heart, though. I know what you're going to say. Don't you say it, Kat. Don't you say it. I'm going to move the conversation.
If what I'm saying is not correct, then how does she end up with Pete Davidson?
I mean, it happens all the time.
And what if you weren't even good enough for Pete and he leaves you? What do that mean the product was? No,
yeah, that's funny.
I don't support.
That's some funny ass shit. Oh, what flavor is this Juul? Oh, y'all know that in California, flavored tobacco's banned. So I'm smoking. I refill my own little cartridges. I have a little bottle, and it's cheaper that way too. That answers that question. Yeah, dude, let's just keep going. There's so much disturbing stuff here. Teenager, Justin Bieber, the raids. Kanye West talking about they pimped girls, and he's talking about Corey Gamble and Kris Jenner and how they're handlers. This goes on and on and on and on and on. New details emerge of the death of Diddy's ex-girlfriend Kim Porter. So she died of cardiac arrest. So people are now re-looking into that and figuring out if maybe P. Diddy did some other suspicious activities there. Right? So there's that. And then there's also this dude that recently resigned from 300 Entertainment, Kevin Lyles. This dude's like an iconic guy across all music. So there's that too. Let's see what else we got. So we got that dude stepping down. I kind of wanted to look into that dude as well. We already looked at the entire case. So let's go to the more out there allegations. So Club Love, right? He had Ice Spice, Quavo, Young Miami, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, all the usual suspects, you know what I mean? People who already allegedly have been like Cardi B openly talked about drugging men, and she's already doing that, you know? Yeah, it just keeps going and going and going. Atlantic Music Group announces 24 layoffs in effort to achieve maximum impact for artists. No, like people are disappearing for reasons related to this case, you know? Stevie J, sexual relationship, right? There's lists of celebrity names, behind the scenes for his 50th birthday party. Even Kanye West and Kim were there before they had their whole fallout thing, you know? So y'all can see the pictures right here. It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, you guys should look into that. Leaked audio between P. Diddy and Meek Mill. We already listened to that a little bit. And then here is the newest detention memo. So here, check this out. This is filed September 17th. This is when he got grabbed now. So here is the actual case against him now. So they also made this unsealed. Sex trafficking and abuse, count 1. Freak offs, coercion. This is the one that recently came out on the news with the guy where they seized all his firearms, illegal firearms, bribed witnesses, obstructed justice, all kinds of stuff is in here. He tried to post bail. They denied bail. So he's cooked. He's fully cooked. Here's the rest of that. This is the Diddy Cassie case. That's another one y'all can look into. This one is against Sean Combs, Bad Boy Entertainment, Bad Boy Records, Epic Records, and Combs Enterprises LLC. And they go in on this one too. So there's this one as well, and it just goes on and on and on, and it's very explicit and it's very detailed. So, and this is all, you guys can read all this. It's all on the internet, you know. And then that got me to thinking about another thing that recently came out. There's whole documentaries on the murder of Tupac now, and they're kind of solving his murder now because they grabbed that dude who was stupid enough to talk too much for fame, and they ended up grabbing him, p-diddy, I think that's his name. So here's p-diddy, and y'all can read about it. Tupac murder suspect implicated Diddy in rapper's killing. Court documents show. Paid $1 million to kill Tupac. Suge Knight was there. So there's an interesting thing happening right now. I think there's probably some Suge Knight trying to kill P. Diddy in prison, because Suge Knight's also in prison, and Suge Knight really don't like P. Diddy. So I would have to think that he's probably sending out hits, which is true because now P. Diddy is on suicide watch. We'll get into that as well. So there's that. So let's not forget about Tupac. That happened too, you know? So here's TMZ reporting on the newest case.
So I got to tell you, last night, I was actually doing a lecture at USC, and I got a call from one of our producers, and apologies to the students that I bailed, but we broke a story that Diddy got arrested last night.
Arrested last night in New York City by the feds.
And I got to tell you, Charles, I have never read 14 pages that contained so much shocking information and allegations. Diddy, among other things, he has been accused of sex trafficking, engaging in a conspiracy to foster prostitution, racketeering, kidnapping, narcotics offenses, arson, bribery. That is the beginning.
And the feds lay this all out. That they say that basically his organization, his company, which they refer to as the Combs Enterprise, which certainly sounds more like a
mob,
outfit, that it existed mainly to fuel his desires, often his sexual desires. And they lay out in detail a lot of those sexual desires in this indictment.
So one of the centerpieces, and we've talked about this
check out
before,
the guy talking, the actual
Times
Fed.
lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims.
Now, they say they found those recordings of the freak-offs during the raids on his homes in Miami and here in LA.
Which opens up a whole Pandora's box of who is in this. One of the things they are alleging, and this is the prostitution charge, which is that Diddy would bring male porn stars across state lines to participate in these freak-offs and essentially victimize, I mean, that's the way they're putting it, some of the women who were pressured to be part of this.
Yeah, the feds are alleging, Harvey, a full-scale criminal enterprise here. They say that Diddy was conspiring with many people, mostly his employees, to engage not just in drawing people out across state lines for the purpose of prostitution, forcible coercion of sexual acts, forced drugging and raping of women, guns, all sorts of crimes, and
drugs,
it's all part of a criminal.
Drugs.
In
You heard
huge quantities
Damian
of drugs.
the U.S. Attorney, talk about these.
GHB, oxy, ketamine, which he mentioned,
Huge
cocaine,
quantities of
MDMA.
drugs.
I mean, just really,
Fully
Charles,
cooked.
this
He's fully
14
cooked.
pages is
They
shocked.
packed a
It's
lot
shocking.
in those 14 pages, and it is now, Diddy's we should say, his side. His attorneys have said that they're disappointed. I always find that weird when they say, we're disappointed that they decided to pursue this. Well, of course you're disappointed they decided to pursue it. But in court today, Diddy did plead not guilty to all the charges, and his attorneys say he is innocent, and they're going to fight this in court.
So we actually got his lawyer going into court, and not only said he was not.
That's crazy, right? So, like, yeah, all this is all on the news right now, so y'all can check all the current news out there. All this is on the news right now. You know, all the implications I made earlier, some of that stuff's not on the news yet. I don't know if people are looking that heavily into it. You know, there's also besides the Tupac thing, there's also the Kid Cudi thing. Y'all know that he blew up his car. So that happened too.
New lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, bringing some serious claims against the music mogul, brought by his former longtime girlfriend.
One of the times she left, she actually had a brief relationship with Kid Cudi. When Diddy found out, he allegedly beat her, threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car.
Explosive revelations in Tinseltown. Kid Cudi backs Cassie's shocking lawsuit against Diddy, confirming a tale of jealousy, threats, and a car going kaboom. Did Diddy really play with fire over a romantic rivalry? Tune in for the celebrity drama unraveling.
She claimed
So there it is. You know, I really don't like the fact that this is like considered like what would you call it? Like like tabloid stuff. You know, I don't like that, because then you get all these weird videos covering it, like AI robots and TMZ and Celeb Live and shit like this, and it's really annoying, because it's like, yo, this is real news. Like, this is like actual stuff that's happening, you know? I wish they would make it look a little bit more serious, you know? There's all these memes, there's all these cartoons, fucked up ass cartoons coming out. Real evil ass shit. You know, there was that video I showed you guys with Kevin Hart joking around, saying weird stuff. There's more of those. Here's another one. Check this out. Oh, that one got taken down. So, okay. So that's one. One is taken down already, but I mean, there's more out there. You know, and then the FBI released names, 100 names revealed on it, right? Ellen DeGenerate is one of the names on that list, and she's freaking out. And so,
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about p-diddy? Did that surprise you about p-diddy? He's been on your show many times. Have a good night. Have you been to his parties?
Yeah, no, it's great. So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited.
yo, there you go. That's all you need to know. I ain't even going to play the rest of that because it's just too crucial. So, you know, these people are all freaking out, you know. There's hella compilations out there on Diddy sus moments with Rick Ross and with all these people. But here's one that's crazy. Suge Knight, out of all the podcasts that he could have gone on, he went on the Patrick Bet David podcast, the Valuetainment dude. And they called him literally from prison to ask him about P. Diddy.
Is Diddy at a level of being untouchable where he's protected, or is Diddy a target that they'll eventually put all the blame on him and make sure they get away with it free?
I mean, he's definitely going to be the black motherfucker holding the bag. Because you gotta realize one thing. That boy's life is dangerous. His life isn't, he's just not dangerous with the shit they said he was doing, but he's in danger. He knows too much. One thing you got to realize is he probably having a conversation right now with the higher-ups and everybody else to figure out how it's going to work itself out, because he know all the secrets. And if he get to run his mouth, it could be a bad look. I look at it like the most important thing is the industry need to be built over. You have all these executives because somebody was their father, their grandfather, or all these type of stuff, and they don't give
yeah, so that's the gist of it. You know, basically, Suge Knight says, you know, P. Diddy knows a lot, and it's gonna be hard to get him, but you know, he makes some subtle threats in this interview. It's a little too long for me to play the entire thing, but that's another one y'all should check out on Valuetainment. That was 4 months ago when they first raided his crib. So, you know, and Suge Knight, obviously he's got a grudge with the whole Tupac thing, and he was in the car when Tupac died. So there's also that. Here's him talking about it before he went to prison.
How you doing, Shug?
Hey.
Smoking your stove? I like that, man.
Everybody know one thing about me. I don't care any Hollywood, any on the streets, especially Hollywood rappers.
Yeah.
We can get our paperwork.
Yeah.
And see what all we ever been arrested for. I guarantee you, there's never been nothing for me but straight real and violence.
Ain't no, you ain't snitching. No.
I ain't never in my life told. You know, I'm the mother when people ask me if I know who killed Tupac, and not saying Tupac dead or alive, but I'm saying if they ask me if I know who killed Tupac, I'm the said, hey, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
I don't get down like that. One thing people gotta realize, it's mother born and raised out here.
Yeah.
You both suspect the mother who live out here.
Yeah.
Because right now we got a lot of out-of-towners living out here, and they ain't saying
Yeah,
nothing
Sarah,
about it.
Jay-Z too.
You'll have a 90 mother walk down the street and said Suge Knight killed Tupac. When everybody know off the top, I ain't the killed Tupac.
Okay, he says it wasn't him.
Killed Tupac.
Because they're snitching to the police, so they ain't gonna get
arrested. Not just to snitch and be smart, son. Because Tupac not
I ain't
dead.
as smart as you showed me.
Tupac not dead. If he was dead, they'd be arresting those dudes for murder. You know he's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar.
What? Why is he fueling the Tupac still alive conspiracy? That's wild. But yeah, there he is. You know, and we all know Snoop Dogg acquired Death Row Records recently, and Snoop Dogg is not fully innocent in this whole thing because Snoop Dogg has been seen at the Olympics wearing a Baphomet thing, and Snoop Dogg has been seen hanging out with Ellen DeGeneres, and he's doing all kinds of suspicious activities these days. He ain't the same Snoop that we knew, so something's going on there too with Snoop. So there's that, you know, and then here comes this story. Recently, I saw this on Instagram. P. Diddy is on suicide watch. So they got him on suicide watch. When's the last time that we heard that somebody went on suicide watch for these types of allegations? It was Jeffrey Epstein. And what happened to Jeffrey Epstein after he went on suicide watch? He got suicided. You know what I mean? So, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they just straight snuffed this dude out to try and quench this whole deal. So I went and found some images, more images. P. Diddy with Harvey Weinstein, obviously. P. Diddy with Trump. That one is like, you know, I don't know what to think about that. A lot of people take pictures with celebrities, so it's kind of hard to tell what it really means. But what I definitely know is that he was in the same room with him. So there's that. P. Diddy with Hillary Clinton. P. Diddy with Kamala Harris. So there he is doing his thing with her as well. And then you know, it's just I find it weird. This is all weird stuff, you know. Howard University snatches Diddy's honorary degree and return his $1 million donation. So people are just cutting ties everywhere, you know. Now the text messages from Cassie were released. This was today. Today they released the messages. So we'll get into the last little bit of details that were released today. I think we covered pretty much like a lot of this good stuff.
Shocking new details about what led to Sean Combs' brutal beating of girlfriend Cassie Ventura in an LA hotel. Prosecutors now say when this notorious video was taken, Cassie was actually fleeing a wild freak-off, a sex party in which she was allegedly coerced into taking part. After the 2016 incident, Diddy texted her, "Call me, the cops are here. I got 6 kids. Yo, please call. I am surrounded. You gonna abandon me all alone?" She answered, "When you get blank up, you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child." Meanwhile, we're learning that Combs could be a target of other inmates at this federal lockup in Brooklyn while he awaits trial on sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Cameron Lindsay is the facility's former warden.
Would you
consider his life to be in danger inside?
I would consider his life to be in danger if he were to be put with other inmates. He simply is too high profile, particularly because the charges include violence against women. That makes him a very attractive target within the subculture of jails and prisons.
Last night, Diddy's dinner menu consisted of cheese pizza or pasta marinara. Tonight, it's potato soup and tofu salad with cold beets. What a stark contrast with his lavish champagne and caviar lifestyle in his sprawling mansions, where he had a house bartender pouring cocktails.
What's your favorite midnight snack?
Apple pie and ice cream.
No more midnight snacks. Now, home is a stark prison cell in one of the most dangerous prisons in America.
Combs has pleaded
He's
not
cooked.
guilty to all charges.
He's done. He's fully cooked. Yo, he's not. That's it. This is wild. They're calling him dead on arrival.
Joining me now, Brian Claypool, a criminal defense attorney. So, Brian, what Matt was just talking about, these so-called freak-offs, these were no secret. So he'd been openly bragging about these wild parties. You know, there's like sex parties, and it looks like, you know, there were probably lots of other things going on there, too. But he was bragging about this for, what, a couple of decades. Watch.
This is what you need to do. Women, beautiful women. We need alcohols. Right, alcohols.
Yo, Anthony
right.
says
Not just
tofu
one
salad is
alcohol.
crazy.
Alcohols,
Yo,
right.
tofu salad really is crazy. I mean, you know, he must be in he has to be in a VIP area. The funny thing about being in he's not doing mainline, so he's not in the main population. He's not in main pop. So the general pop, gen pop. Because of that, you would think he's safer, but they had Jeffrey Epstein on a suicide watch in a super secure solitary confinement cell, and they were still able to suicide him. So is he really safe? It just depends who's coming for him. He's safe from like Suge Knight, and he's safe from like other people that he has beef with that are in prison, and he's safe from, you know, the prison culture of trying to get people who do, you know, these type of acts. They don't like that shit in prison. So he's safe from that. But is he safe from his CIA goons that he probably worked for? I doubt it, you know, because he's definitely got to be a CIA op. Like, there's no way he isn't a honeycomb operation for the government. Like, that must be, he just has too much money and power for that not to be the case, you know? It's wild. So that, you know, that's where it's at right now. This is where it's at right now. Here's videos of his sons. Yo, can you imagine being the son of this dude? Can you imagine being related to this dude? Can you imagine how they feel? That's crazy. Oh, check this out. Going back to Cuba Gooding Jr., you know, I liked him in Friday.
Boys in the Hood to his Oscar-winning role in Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s Hollywood career seemed unstoppable, but a number of scandals over the last few years derailed his once promising career. Now, he's ready to make a comeback.
We need to make these new allegations, Cuba.
God's will be done.
Lawsuits, accusations from multiple women, and in 2022, he pled
Shout out
guilty
Sarah
to
tuning in from the
forcibly touching a
UK.
waitress
Hell
in a
yeah.
nightclub.
You've experienced some very dark times these past few
You bring
years.
that up.
So, but Cuba, so how's your faith? How has it helped you through those dark times?
It's one of those things where I know that I'm here for a reason. And I know that as long as I do what I do and I'm good at what I do and I'm passionate about what I do, God's will be done.
Still reeling from those dark days of scandal, his once squeaky clean image stained forever.
People love you. You know, people do. You seem like you're on top of the world. You're jovial. How did you find yourself in a scenario where dozens of women were accusing you of sexual assault, pleading guilty to forcible touching, and settling lawsuits?
People feel that I'm accessible to them, so I come in contact with all kinds of people, from people who adore you, or people who are offended by you, people who feel you're aggressive.
I don't want to hear his excuses.
Cuba was embroiled in another scandal. He was named as a co-defendant, accused of sexual assault in one of the many lawsuits against Diddy. Cuba has vehemently denied the allegations.
Yo, you can't vehemently deny those allegations. There's fucking pictures of him doing it in on the yacht, so he can't even deny it. And we already looked through that earlier.
Fully escape it though. Like your name, for example, was mentioned in the Diddy case,
Which was the most ridiculous thing ever.
Because you barely know
This is
him,
the
right?
most ridiculous thing ever. But again, welcome to being a celebrity. Welcome to my world.
Cuba's faith is what has seen him through.
Hell
and
nah.
May have others.
Welcome to my world. That's suspicious. Oh shit! And now the footage of him getting arrested at the hotel, because Diddy was stupid. Like, this is how it had to have worked out. If I had to kind of guess, do some guesswork. Diddy was in an island, Antigua, in Africa, and he was hiding. Then he came to Florida, and he must have gone to New York. Apparently what they did was they tricked him. They were like, we're going to let you post bail, and you'll be able to post bail, right? But as it turns out, like, he was set to turn himself in the morning, but instead they raided his hotel in the middle of the night before he turned himself in. And that's how they were able to deny him bail, because they made him look like a flight risk. You know what I mean? So, like, that was, like, clever on the DA. Whoever did that, they must have done that in a really clever way. So we'll see how that played out right here. You can see that, you know, that's what's happening. So they're like, come with us, sir. You're cooked. He's like, fuck. There he is, fully caught up, you know. And so that was a really clever strategy, like drawing him out of hiding by promising him that he'd have the ability to post bail, so that he'd look a little less suspicious, less of a flight risk. But really it was a type of entrapment where they made it so he can't post bail. So that was hella clever, you know. I think, you know, somebody must be behind this prosecution that he has no control over, you know. Clearly he was friends with the mayor of New York. He gave him the keys to the fucking city. Clearly the mayor is being investigated by the feds right now. They raided his phones. They got the police chief. They got everyone who works for the mayor. They got them all, and they're all being investigated. So it only makes sense that P. Diddy would have the power to elude them. So this must be going beyond those people, you know. They're all being investigated right now. And it really goes that deep. It's really like that. So check.
You said we are not done and that Combs did not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
Are we about to see more people face criminal charges in connection with the racketeering and sex trafficking case of Sean Diddy Combs? High-profile people in the entertainment industry are speaking out about what could be next and whether those around Combs or at his parties could be in trouble. We're going to sort it out with attorney Afi Patterson. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Y'all should watch this entire video. They really go into detail on a lot of stuff recently coming out. This is like fresh off the press. Like, we're talking like today. So 8 hours ago they put that video out. You know, and so now people are gonna have to start making little statements like, oh, like, I had nothing to do with that, you know. And so here's a LL Cool J doing some.
Look, I try to share in life. I think that you learn that in kindergarten, and you know, unfortunately, people forget what they learned in kindergarten a lot of times, and so sharing is a part of it. You know, let other people utilize your crayons too. It's okay, and so that's kind of how I live my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, share when it's appropriate, set the example when it's appropriate, when it's in line with my vision. These kind of things are a consequence of those kinds of actions, as opposed to it being like something I set out to do or contrive. It wasn't planned, you know. Like, everybody wants to paint themselves as a genius, but I don't even know how I got here. All I know is I follow my bliss. You know what I'm saying? I do what I love, and here we are. You know what I mean?
One of the biggest music.
So there it is. I mean, you know, it's just crazy. See, Diddy reacts to being asked if he put out a hit on Tupac. Kind of going back to that whole Tupac thing.
That was a documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah. Check this out. We don't talk about.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. This dude from Breakfast Club, he's suspicious. Yo, he's always on some weird shit. He's always on some weird shit. So which is a lie. Like, no, it wasn't a lie, my guy.
Things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we not even gonna even go there, with all due respect. But I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to kill Pac? But no, you do it like.
But here it is, Diddy, the $1 million hit on Tupac's life documentary. Fucking so nah, a whole hour that you can watch on this.
His Drink Champs interview in 2016.
You can watch a whole ass hour.
You know what I'm saying? So we like, p-diddy, how you know them motherfuckers? Same way I know you, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
That's Keefe D, the guy who was arrested. So, you know, looking back at the history, the long history of abuse, and, you know, I couldn't get too much on Jay-Z. He's been real good about cleaning up, like, his connection with, because that also implicates Beyonce. He's been real good about cleaning that up somehow. I'm not sure how, but it's hard to find anything on Jay-Z. You know, there's that whole thing, Jay-Z, Murder Jesus 666. He had some weird evil music that he put out some years ago. So there's that. I'm gonna you know, maybe do a part 2 on this podcast and look into that. But for now, I'm gonna put up a video as my last video on this podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was a fun one. There's a video of Dave Chappelle acting like P. Diddy. And I'm going to just leave it up, you know, sign off with that one because it's too fucking funny.
Check this out. Did good. All right, this is what's up. You can live here, you can record here, you can be bad boy artists here. But if you want to do it, first y'all got to walk to Queens and get me a sugar cookie. A sugar cookie, man. This is crazy. We got it. Come on, man. Bad boy. It's a good ass sugar cookie. You guys are official now. Welcome to Bad Boy. It's Bad Boy, baby. Can't stop. Won't stop. Go out there and get daddy a hit. I'm gonna take a nap.
Oh, that was the wrong. There's another one with a Cambodian titty milk. That shit was hella funny. So yeah, man, I think that kind of surmises this entire investigation from top to bottom. You know, my favorite character to look into was that dude Fahim Mohammed. That dude was very fucking suspicious. He was one of 2 people in the same room when Michael Jackson died. He bought property near the border where he could possibly have access to human trafficking. He was implicated in another case. He was also a weird, like, real estate dude buying up properties. And he was also the head of security and named in the case that Lil Rod put out against Diddy. So that's my favorite character to look into this whole thing. He kind of gives up a lot of this shit, you know. And so that's where I'm going to leave this one out on for you guys, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was fun. If you missed any of the topics that we covered in the beginning, you know, just like rewatch the VOD when I re-upload it or whatever. But man, this is a crazy ass case. This is some crazy times we're living in. Presidential assassinations. Everyone's getting grabbed up. Cat Williams did not disappoint when he said that 2024 was the year. But hey, shout out to Technologic for coming on the chat. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to everyone else in the chat, man. You guys really